promoting anything, right?
No, I'm not promoting. I'm promoting Houston.
How about that?
Yeah.
Everybody's coming by, telling me what vitamins they're eating and what ice cream I need to try. Or
Yeah. If you want me to talk about Houston, I'll tell you all the great things about Houston.
I heard you ride your bike around town most of the time. Is that accurate?
That's true. Yes.
Because I got to tell you something. We tried to get a radio show done with you this year, and you're like, I don't want to do a full-time radio show. Which again, I want to do with you next year. I think you got a lot to say.
All right.
But I picked a place in particular that I thought you could ride your bike to.
Where'd you pick? The House of Blues?
Hard Rock Cafe.
Okay. Yeah, I could ride my bike there.
Discovery Green, right around the corner, right?
Yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think about all this stuff, first and foremost?
Well, I thought this is my first time doing this. I thought it was Media Row. It's more of like a square kind of thing. I don't see any rows.
With a bunch of obnoxious radio people talking to you at one time.
You guys aren't obnoxious at all. 13 wins, that's real tough.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, first of all, I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for having me.
And, look, you had such an amazing year last year. And the stat-wise, it didn't match up. You know that. You're the first season. Talk about your year. Give me your assessment about who you guys were and who you were.
What was the end of that? Who we were and who
you were personally.
Oh, well, obviously the year was disappointing at the end. Kind of came to a crashing halt. Our goal was to be playing this weekend, so that was disappointing. But like I said before, 13 wins is the most in franchise history. Yeah. Back to the divisional round. So there's things that there's things that are positive that you have to take out of the year. And then for me personally, I played every single snap on defense. That was positive. I had 20 more tackles than a year before. I had a number of pressures. Obviously, all year was very frustrating not to get the sack numbers that I got the year before.
Is it bothersome that people say, where was the Connor Barwin of last year? Because you did play every day.
Well, it is frustrating because, in my position, but I understand that. In my position, they look at one stat and that's a sack. Well, at least people that watch the games on TV, on Sundays, most of them just look at sacks. And I understand that's my number one job and that's what I have to do. And that's what I'm paid to do. So just as they were disappointed, I was even more disappointed than they were. But there's a lot more to do than that, and what I have to do.
Collectively, the first 12 weeks, you guys are 11-1. Everything's going beautiful. In December, just kind of fell off a little bit. You were still winning games, but it wasn't the type of dominant performance to show. When you go back and you surmise everything, was there something that changed? Was it the overtime games? Was it the amount of games in a short period of time? Or is it just a case where you wish you could have just played at that amazing level and just sometimes you just can't do it?
Yeah, we wish we could have played at that level. I think there's a lot of things that happened. Obviously, 8 quarters in 5 days was tough on a lot of guys. There's injuries that happened. Cushing hurt a lot, and that maybe it took a couple of weeks for us, or the second half of the season before it really was exposed. And there's different things that kind of added up, and we kind of wore out. There's mental mistakes there at the end, but we regrouped at the end of the year.
The penalties, is that just meant loss of focus, or because that count probably concerned coach more than probably anything else?
Yeah. Coobs was on us about that, and I wasn't aware of it, but I remember him pointing out to us, and then he started posting on the door who was getting the penalties and that kind of stuff.
Outing you in front of your teammates.
Yeah, it was rough, but there was a lot of younger players, a lot of rookies that were making those penalties, and I remember once he started doing that, they did go down. But I guess all you can equate that to is there was a mental kind of drop there at the end of the last one of the season.
This is your second season of being in a 3-4 scheme. Are you completely comfortable with it now, or are still things you're learning every day?
Well, I'm completely comfortable, but you're always learning, you're always growing, but I'm definitely comfortable with it.
All right, now the $64,000 question. How did you leave things with the organization in terms of, hey, I'd like to be here? Or maybe
why is that a $64,000 question?
Okay, it could be a $6.4 million.
All right, we left things good. I met with Rick and Coobs and Wade and Reggie, and everything was good. And I hope to be back. They hope to be back, and we'll see what happens come March.
No doubt in your mind, this will be the preferred place for you to go.
Yeah, no doubt.
Why is it?
Because I think we have the coaches and the players to win a Super Bowl, and I'd like to be playing in this game.
Is it scary? Because I talked to Glover about this about an hour ago. Part of you, as any human being, would love to know what you're worth elsewhere. You know this. Mario Williams got blown away by the deal he got in Buffalo.
Yeah.
There's no way in a million years he could have.
Well, just like Glover, I'm a free agent, so I'll find out what other teams think.
Are you excited about that, or a little leery?
I'd say indifferent. I'm more intrigued. I don't know about excited or leery. can I say intrigued, interested?
No question. Because if I was a free agent, I was a free agent 3 years ago, I was very interested to see what I was worth in the open market.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I got $19,500 a year to work for this great radio company. So I found out my true value.
There you go. I'll find out my value.
And how about your agent? How much are you guys talking about?
Right now, we're not really talking about it right now, but obviously we did the whole negotiations before the season, so there was a lot of conversation then. And now, we'll wait until the free agency process starts before we really get back into it.
Any regret you didn't sign a deal before the start of the season?
Well, if I knew I was going to only get 3 sacks, I might have signed that deal.
I'm just asking the question.
But let me tell you, if I were to do it again, I'd make the same decision because I'd never bet on myself to get less than 10 sacks in the season, or at least in this.
But as you said, it's not us, the fans, that are judging your contract. It's the people that are running the front offices and the scout film and whatnot.
So I'll be fine. We'll see what happens.
Your owner came on my show yesterday and said you guys are really close. So I want you to tell me what's going to take close of 2012 and turn it into us talking about you guys being here next year.
Well, it's going to take, every guy on the roster has got to step their game up from the highest paid guy to lowest paid. I think we need to have a good off season. Obviously, the management, hopefully can bring in another couple good players, which they've done every year since I've been here in the draft. And then it's a process. I mean, if you look at these teams that are in the Super Bowl, how many years were the Ravens in the AFC Championship or in the playoffs before they finally, kind of broke down that wall and made it? So,
do they motivate you in the sense that they were so close for so many years, and that you feel like you would beat them in the year or two?
Yeah, I mean, we beat them this year.
You crushed them.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
you beat them. I said this before. I said this on the air. If you guys could have gotten past New England, there would have been no reservation in my mind you could have won it down. Well, because look at Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how it goes. You got to win those games in the playoffs. But that's like you said, we have the talent, we have the players, we can beat these teams. We just need to get it done when it comes to playoff time.
So if a team calls you and says, "Hey, let's going to bring you back to a 4-3," would that intrigue you, or again, you're going to be indifferent?
Well, I'd like playing in a 3-4. But if guys that watch our defense. We're in a 4-3. Every 3-4 is in a 4-3 50% of the time. It's a nickel defense. When it's ever a padded situation, we go back to a nickel 4-down lineman. So, I might have even played more 4-3 this last season than I did 3-4.
All right, you've played the Ravens. You've beaten them. If you had a chance to whisper to the Niners, what do you tell them about how to beat the Baltimore Ravens?
Well, for us, the first thing with the Ravens, and I remember the scouting report a little bit, but you got to contain Ray Lewis. You can't let him get those little check down passes and go for 40 yards. You can't let him run on you guys. And the Ravens are a big play team. Flacco likes to chuck it down the field, and then Ray Lewis takes those little 2-yard passes and goes for 60 or 40 or whatever. So you got to minimize the big plays to beat the Ravens.
All right, last question. Are you going to the game on Sunday?
No.
Are you leaving town today?
Yeah, I'm a bitter person. I won't go to the game until I'm playing.
I'm not going to the game either. I don't want to go either.
Yeah.
If it's not you guys, well, why do I care?
I feel the same way.
All right, lastly, you see that I'm bald, and I'm curious if the hair works for you, would it work on me? How would I look with your dude?
Well, I saw JJ tried to kind of steal my haircut a little bit, and it wasn't working for him, so I don't know if it would work for you either.
Is there a way to describe your hair?
I would describe it, it's like a white man's flat top almost, I guess you could describe it.
Question is, how would I look in a white man's flat top?
Flat top.
Flat top. Yeah. You don't think it'd make a good look for this?
No.
Okay. Now, final question. Normally I would have to plug.
That's the third time you said final question.
I know.
I'm happy to do it.
It's a habit. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk to you. I tried to do a radio show with you. Oh, I don't want to do a radio show. You signed a contract. Let's do a show.
I was focused on the season, man. I wanted to put all my attention into the season and studying film and all that stuff.
That is ridiculous. You can hang out with me for 1 hour on a Tuesday. How hard would that be? Have you listened to my interview?
I go into the stadium every Tuesday and work.
Yeah, but I'm like 5 minutes from your house. You have to have lunch.
Let's talk about it again. Maybe next year's the year we finally do it.
Now, if you're playing for San Diego, we're not doing the show.
Well, I think I'm going to be playing for Houston.
Oh, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Connor Barwin show starts Tuesdays this fall. I don't want your agent involved. You and I will figure this out.
We'll text, yeah.
We'll get you hair gel.
Okay.
And then plenty of product. You'll have nothing to worry about. All right, this is it.
I'm product free, by the way.
The final question. Normally, I have to plug something for you. Since you're not here to plug anything except yourself, you get 10.
I can plug something.
Wait a
All
minute.
right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
get
Go ahead.
10 seconds. I don't care what you say. Whatever you want to say. We have people that listen to Sports Talk 7 that talk about you all the time.
Okay.
They're listening to you right now. What do you want to tell them?
I will plug my 2 favorite restaurants in Houston.
Oh.
Underbelly
Okay.
on Westheimer, and then right down the street on the corner of Westheimer and Montrose Uchi. So my 2 favorite restaurants, 2 great chefs. If they get a chance, you should go in there.
How often do you go?
I go to probably once or twice a month each one.
And if I was to go there, would you sign an autograph?
Yeah.
Anybody that goes there to those restaurants, you will sign an autograph.
Yeah.
You won't be like a loop athlete.
No, I never do that. Yeah, that's no problem.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Barwin, plug-free except for his 2 favorite restaurants in Houston. He's staying in Houston, Texas, and he will be on the Matt Thomas Show, Sports Talk 790, every other Tuesday starting next season.
Thanks for having me on.
As long as he gets a good contract.